Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Math with Mr. W. And today's comments are about let's get serious. And I'm going to be serious for a moment. I've got some problems, and we're going to be serious about these. Because one of the things that I just so much feel strong about is the idea of reading math. Not just writing it, not just looking at it, but reading it. So if we're not totally writing it down, and as we're writing it down, we're reading what we're writing down, we're putting this in our mind, then we're not memorizing anything. If we're given a sheet of paper where these are just listed, and all we have to do is put in the answers, our fine minds will remember the answers. And they won't be placed with anything. They need to be placed with something because they'll be staring at the problem, not reading it. And the way to do that is to make sure they have a blank sheet of paper with maybe one item on it. Let's say the top one, 5 plus 2 equals, and the mark. And you tell them the first one is 5 plus 2 equals, and let them fill in the blank. I'm sure there'll be a lot of hands wanting to tell you the answer, which is not uncommon. I've substituted kindergarten classes, and many hands would go up on that one. But I would also ask you, if they wanted to tell you the answer, I would ask them to read the problem as they gave you the answer. So I'd ask them to say 5 plus 2 equals 7. Thank you. 5 plus 2 equals 7. And make sure as you go around the class that everybody has written down the number 7 correctly. Now the next part, the next problem is not there. They're going to have to follow a pattern from the first one. You're just going to tell them what the next one is. Now, I put an example up here of 6 plus 1. So this is where you, like reading words, they have to understand numbers as you say them and be able to write them down. So you say 6, they write down the number 6. Plus, they write down the symbol plus. 1, they put down the number 1, equals. And then they put a line and they write down the solution. And again, hands will go up. And maybe you have a set of cards that you go through with names of all your students on them, and you shuffle them every day at the beginning of the day. And so everybody gets called on because there's an order to your cards. But they get shuffled, and so they never know when they're going to get called on. But this time it's Roger's turn. And so Roger says 6 plus 1 equals 7. Correct, Roger. And he puts down the answer. Now you put down the answer, and everybody in the class makes sure they have that answer. Now number 3. And we look down to number 3, and we have 7 plus 3 equals. And you get the next card, and it's it's Jose, 7, and Jose says 7 plus 3 equals 10. Correct, Jose. Everybody make sure you have the same answer, okay? If you didn't get that answer, correct yourself, so on. So what you're doing is they're writing down the number that you're asking to write down. They're writing down the symbol, the plus sign. They're knowing that there's an equal sign, and that equal sign is incredibly powerful. And you do this. Now, you might say in the next one, there will be 3 digits. So don't jump up after 2. Don't be ready to go after 2, because I'm going to go with 3. So you might start with 2 plus 1 plus 6. 2 plus 1 plus 6 equals. And Beverly, your card's next. So what do you think it is? And Beverly reads it back to you. 2 plus 1 plus 6 equals 9. And so Beverly has the correct answer. Congratulations, Beverly, you got the right answer. Everybody else, have you done it correctly? And this is a good time to take a little walk around the room, check out, make sure that everybody is doing it correctly. But what are we doing here? We're getting away from just kids thinking about what the answer is. They're thinking about what got them to the answer. I, as a 9th grade to 12th grade teacher, and as a substitute for K through 8, had a lot of students that just gave me lists of answers. And I sometimes didn't even know which numbers they went to. Now, that came out of a habit, a bad habit. Let's be serious, folks. The student has to know what the problem is. They need to know what's read, and they should be able to read it, write it, and get a solution. So I know we've been serious this time. We've been a little bit tougher than I've been in the last 3. I just hope that you realize that this is really valuable, that the student not only hears what you say, writes down what you say, just like the letters of the alphabet and the words that you say, but they understand the numbers and the symbols. They can repeat them, write them down, and come up with a solution. Thanks again for watching Math with Mr. W.